AI is actually the great equalizer. For the first time in history, a single woman, a solopreneur with 90 minutes a day and a mustard seed of faith, like I like to say, can actually build a business infrastructure that used to require an entire team. AI is not going to replace you. It replaces the hours you were going to spend staring at a blank screen trying to figure out what to write. But you bring the story, you bring the wisdom, the lived experience, the faith, the calling, and AI just brings the speed. And that combination is faith-powered AI systems. And it's exactly what called and capable women like you have been waiting for. Hey girl, if life handed you a plot twist, a divorce, a layoff, an empty nest, or you're just ready to reinvent your life and write the best chapter yet, you're in the right place. It's not a midlife crisis, it's a calling. Hey, I'm Lori Ann, Christian AI business coach, single divorce mom of 2 miracle babies, and the woman who rebuilt her entire life from her mom's living room floor while homeschooling my kids, working full-time, and earning my MFA in creative writing. And I built a 6-figure business on the side while doing all of it, by the grace of God. We're putting God first, family second, and AI third. And God, He is never late. Hey girl, and welcome back to the Midlife Comeback Club podcast. I am so glad you're here. What a beautiful morning it is. And I can't believe we're already getting into summer. It's June. Crazy. I feel like this year has just flown by. Well, we have new episodes still dropping here every Monday and Thursday. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so that you never miss an episode. We've got some really great things coming down the pike here. And today I just want to ask you something. How many times have you said, maybe out loud to yourself, maybe just in your head when nobody can judge you? We know how that goes, right? I would love to start something of my own online business, my own way to make some money from home. So I don't have to do the grind. I'm in a different phase of my life where I really want to use whatever God is putting on my heart right now and my calling, and finally use this time as a midlife woman to do that. But then you say, I just don't have the time. Be honest now. Is that what you're saying? Because I know I have said that. I said it for decades, more times than I care to really admit, because I said it when I was working full time, when my kids were little, when my life blew up and I was rebuilding everything from scratch and I couldn't see past even like the next 24 hours. But I really want to spend some time here today on this with you because that is really a lie. It's a lie from the enemy and it's holding you back from what I believe God is calling you to do with your life. Because what if the problem's really not time at all? What if the problem was that nobody ever showed you the system that actually fits inside a real midlife life? When life is lifing. Nobody ever told me this. So today we're going to talk about building a real online business from home, not a hobby, not some pipe dream that you're thinking about or dreaming about, not some maybe someday thing. We've all done that. But we're going to talk about doing this and building the foundation of your business in just 90 minutes a day. And I'm going to give you some practical AI starting points today, okay? Because I really want you to leave this episode with something you can actually start doing this week to get yourself on track for this to become not something that might be possible, but to really start bringing your dream of doing this to fruition. I want you to start getting on the path to making this happen and not sitting on the sidelines anymore, okay? So stay with me because it's going to get good. But before we dive in, I really want to take a second to tell you about something. And hopefully you've heard my previous episodes where I've started talking about it. But if you've been carrying the idea of starting your own online coaching business, and if you have a story, if you have a struggle that you survived or a calling that, like we talked about, that just keeps tapping you on the shoulder, The Midlife Comeback Club was built exactly for this moment in your life. And I'm so excited about it because inside my club, you get access to my new 6-phase Call to Coach Built to Break Free program, which is designed to walk you through building a complete AI powered coaching business. And you can build the foundation for this in just 90 focused minutes a day. And they don't even have to be all at the same time. We could do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, whatever it takes to give you that 90 minutes a day and just 5 days a week. And in 90 days, you're going to have the foundation built for your business. And not only that, but you don't just get me for 90 days. You get me as your AI business coach for the entire year. So you can bring all of your questions every single week. We have weekly live Q&A group coaching calls so we can walk you through the process, whatever you're having trouble with, whatever you need answers to, I will be there for you. So I'm going to tell you more about it at the end, but I'm really getting excited because we're coming so close to launching the program. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. And before you do anything else, I want you to jump down in the show notes and click the link to get on the wait list, okay? Because I'm going to be doing something really super special too for all of the first group of women that jump in with me on my new program, okay? And I can't wait to tell you about those bonuses too. But get on that list. It's loriannfeely.com/waitlist. That's LORIANN, F as in Frank, EELEY.com/waitlist. And get yourself signed up so you can stay in the loop on what's coming down the pike here and when it's going to be launching. And if you get on the wait list, you actually get some additional bonuses that not everybody else is going to get as well. So, all right. So let's get into today. Okay. Here's the thing about the I don't have time story. It's one of the most believable lies I think a midlife woman can tell herself because it's partially true, right? Because we all know you are busy. You do have people who need you. You have your family, your kids, your friends, all of these people pulling at you, and you're carrying more than most people really see behind the scenes. I know you are. But let me challenge you on something. The women that I know who built real income generating businesses while raising their kids, while working full-time jobs, and navigating all of these major life transitions, they didn't have more time than you. They just had a different relationship with the time that they had. And there's a difference between I don't have time and I haven't decided yet that this is really worth protecting my time for. Get that difference? And I say that with so much love because I used to live in that first category for a couple decades and basically most of my life. I was the queen of, oh, when I get through this thing, then I'll have more time. Or when things calm down, I will start. And girl, let me just tell you, things do not calm down in life. Yes, we go through different seasons, but generally you're going to have to learn how to build the calm. I kind of like that, right? Build the calm. Build that structure that's going to protect your time before the time will ever feel available. Because the problem is not your schedule. The schedule is always going to be busy. The problem is that you haven't been given a system that fits inside your real life when life is lifing, right? But that's going to end today, okay? So can I tell you something that I've never actually talked about much, but I actually have a morning routine. And it's a non-negotiable. But here's the kicker about my morning routine. I am not a morning person. I spent my entire life saying that I was a night owl. And I was. I would stay up no matter what, even if I was tired, till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Whatever season of life I was in, whether my kids were babies or when they got a little older or when I didn't have kids, it didn't matter. I just always stayed up late. I rarely ever went to bed before midnight. And that was just my headline, my motto, what I told everybody. I am not a morning person. So this is kind of strange that I actually have had a consistent morning routine now over the last few years. It's like a new concept for me. But the new concept is what completely changed my life. And I wish I had done this a decade ago. I would have been even further along than I already am now. And it's amazing just in the short period of time over the last several years that I've done this, how things have changed in my life. I get up in the morning and I go right for my daily devotional. Lately, I've been using the Joyce Meyer app. Now, I don't use my phone. I don't have notifications come through on my phone. I'm anti using your phone for actually a couple hours before 9 o'clock in the morning. So if I do use my phone to look at my daily devotional, I only have that app pop up and then I put it down. And then I go to my Bible and I read just a couple passages. It doesn't have to even be an entire chapter. It's just a couple verses wherever I have left off from the day before in my Bible. That's what I go to. And my mind is starting to get in the right mode for the day after I've done just these couple things. And that's, 5-10 minutes right there. And then I spend 5 or 10 minutes journaling. And I think of a few things every morning, regardless of how bad my life might be at the moment. I think of a few things that I'm grateful for and I write them down. And then I also bring my concerns and my worries to God about what I am praying for and what I need Him to do in my life and how I need Him to work. And I write all of it down. And it's like, it's like this deep breath that I can take after I spend my 20 to 30 minutes doing this every day before my feet even hit the floor. This is how I begin my day. And yes, do I have to get up a lot earlier than I want to? Yes. That is a sacrifice that I've made to put my day on the right path. It just changes everything for me for the day. And I'll be honest, on the days when I skip it, and there are days when I do skip it, I'm not perfect, but for the most part, this is what I try to do. But on the days I skip it, I notice because the day doesn't flow the same way. I'm more reactive. I'm more emotional. I'm just scattered. I'm all over the place, right? And the decisions I have to make feel a lot harder. The content I'm creating feels more forced. It's not flowing through God the way it's supposed to. And here's what I figured out. That morning time, that half hour, 60, 90 minutes before the world wakes up that I spend is not wasted time. I actually used to look at it like if I ever did something like that, that would just be a waste of time trying to do things that weren't connected to my work. Or if I didn't jump right up and get with my kids, I would feel guilty. And I had such the wrong mindset around that. It's not wasted time. It's actually your most valuable time and the most productive time of your entire day. Not because I'm doing tasks, it's because I'm doing the soul work that makes the strategy work for my business later on during the day. And when I started building my business like this, when I finally got serious about it and really serious about putting God first every day, it was amazing. Amazing. I will tell you the amount of income that just started pouring in. And it was like, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. The only difference I was making in my life was these intentional morning routines that I was doing to spend time with God and put Him first. And when I started understanding that concept, that I didn't have to get up and start digging in my emails and responding to people and jumping up to get my kids' needs right away, because all those things you're doing to stay busy and you think that you feel guilty if you don't do it right away, you're putting God last. And when you reverse this and you start putting God first, it's like the income and everything about your day, your relationships start flowing better. The income starts coming easier. All the other stuff, it's like it feels a little counterintuitive. We feel like we need to be getting up and doing more tasks for everybody in our life or for our business. And it's the complete opposite. God's way is by reversing it. If you give Him the time first, all that other stuff is going to get so much easier. Because you're doing the soul work first, that makes all of the strategy work for your business later. And a lot of things move a lot easier for your day. So when I started building my business, when I really got serious about it, I realized that this same principle actually applies to your business. I didn't need full 8 hours of go, 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 go trying to build my business. I just really needed that small amount of focused time to build my business. I needed 90 protected minutes. That was it. And it was 90 minutes with a clear plan, though, using the right tools and the decision to really treat my calling like it mattered, because it does. And that's what the 90-minute CEO framework that I created is built on. It's not built on hustle. It's not burning the midnight oil like I did for so many decades. It was just 90 minutes of focused, faith-led, AI-powered work every single day that made all the difference. And I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Like I should be working more hours on this. I should not be just spending my 90 minutes. But it was enough. And it was actually more than enough. And it created so much more in my business than all the years I spent working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week did. So that's what really built everything that you're listening to right now. And I want to read you something real quick. Okay, Proverbs 31:25 says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future." She laughs without fear of the future, not because she has it all figured out. No, not because her calendar is clear, but because she's clothed, meaning she's really prepared and she was equipped. She is so-called dressed for what's coming. She was equipped to handle all of these amazing things that she was doing. I mean, she was selling real estate. She was starting her business. The Proverbs 31 woman was amazing. And she was also caring for her family. So girl, you're not too late and you're not too old and you're absolutely not scattered. Okay. You might just be a little under equipped, and equipping you, that's exactly what we're doing today. So don't you worry about that, because Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has plans to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. And I genuinely believe that includes your business, your income, and your freedom. That was not some typo in scripture, okay? He meant you too. Okay, so we're going to get practical now. I want to give you my 90-minute CEO starter framework. And it's specifically for women who are just beginning to think about really building a business from home. You've been wanting to do this for a while. Maybe you've jumped into it. It's not going so well. Maybe you haven't even started yet, wherever you are. But then I'm going to walk you through 3 AI tools that you can start using this week, not someday. I want you to start using them this week. Okay. So you ready? Number 1, I want you to decide what your 90 minutes that you're going to spend is actually going to be for. This sounds so simple, and you might just want to skip right past it, but don't, okay? Most women sit down to work on their business with no clear target for that time. And then they get distracted, they get overwhelmed, they have 20 tabs open, they start checking emails, they start looking something up on the internet, and they get all over the place. And before they know it, an hour has gone by, they looked at social media, and nothing has gotten done. They end up reorganizing their desktop. I know I do that a lot. It's like reorganizing your files, right? We don't need to do that anymore. I'm not judging because I've been there. Now you can just use AI to do that for you. But regardless, before you sit down, you need one answer, okay? What is the most important thing I can move forward today? Not 5 things. I want you to just pick one. Sometimes that's the most difficult decision you'll have to make. But here's a simple question I want you to ask yourself at the start of every 90-minute work block. If this were the only thing I accomplished today, would my business be further along than yesterday? And if the answer is yes, that's your task, okay? That's your 90-minute task. If you're not sure where to start, here's what I recommend for absolute beginners. If you're starting your online coaching business, week 1, you want to figure out what your niche is and what your story is. Who do you help and why? Week 2, I want you to figure out just one offer idea, just one, whether it's going to be your group coaching program, which I highly recommend, or private one-on-one calls, whatever it looks like for you. In week 3, one lead magnet idea that you can use, one simple way for someone to raise their hand and say, tell me more. This is how you're going to get people on your email list. I love to use quizzes, and I've got a great way of doing that inside my program. I've actually created an app to help you figure all of that out. But you don't have to have everything figured out before you start. You just need a direction and a decision. So let's get that down first. Number 2, before you ask AI anything, this is really important. I want you to start teaching it who you are first. And this is where I want to slow way down, because this is the thing that nobody else is really teaching beginners right now with AI. And that's the reason that most women try AI once and they think, oh, they just got some generic result. And they never open it up again because they feel like it's not them. And usually here's what happens. You'll open Claude, if you're using Claude, which I highly recommend. That's what I'm using now for a lot of things. Or you're using ChatGPT. I'm going to show you how you can house everything inside your AI brain so that no matter where these LLMs, large language models, move, that you're going to be able to pick up your story, your brand, and everything about you and move it to whatever platform you want to use. But Claude.ai is the free version, and it's perfectly fine to start right there. But normally you're typing something like, help me find my niche, and you'll get a response that sounds like it was written for absolutely anybody. And you close your laptop and you think, AI is not for me. It's so generic. I don't like this. But I'm telling you, that's not an AI problem. It's a setup problem that you're having. Because here's the thing, AI has no idea who you are when you first open it. It doesn't know your background. It hasn't known you your entire life. It doesn't know your story. It doesn't know that you survived something so hard and came out on the other side with a bunch of wisdom that could change somebody else's life. But AI doesn't know that. It doesn't know your voice. It doesn't know your faith, your humor, or the specific woman that you were made to serve. So when you ask it some generic question, it's going to give you a generic answer. But when you teach it who you are first, everything will change. People keep saying that, especially in the Christian community, I'm finding they're very anti-AI. A lot of people are against it, and especially women. And I won't go on my rant about that right now. I think I did in the last episode a bit, but I just want you to understand that really now when people say that, they just don't know how to use AI correctly. And that's the problem I want to fix for you, because AI is meant to be a tool and partner in your business so that it can get to know you. And yes, it can create content that is in your voice with your story, and it's an extension of you. Maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, it wasn't so much like that, but things have changed so quickly that now that is absolutely possible. So when you hear people saying that they still need to edit AI and it's a good starting point or a good outline, that was kind of the lingo that was going on about a year or two ago. But that's not the case anymore if you know how to set this up correctly. I have seen it completely change, and leaders in the industry of AI have seen that completely go by the wayside now, where it is possible for it to have all of your information, all of your stories, all of your wisdom, and be an extension of you now. So just hold on to that thought. So when you teach it who you are first, everything changes. That is what I call building your AI brain, okay? And it's the very first thing that I have every single student do inside my program before they write a single piece of content, before you pick a niche, before you do anything else, okay? So here's how it works. And I'm going to give you your very first session right now. I want you to open Claude if you haven't done so already. Create a free account. You can use the free version and type exactly this. And actually, I don't type anymore. Big secret. This is something also that's going to save you a bunch of time. I mean, I took typewriting class back in high school, and my mom was a stenographer. And so typing has always been a thing in our family. And I wrote my reports on a typewriter way before computers ever came out after college. My point is, we've been typing for so long. We think that's the only way to communicate, but that has changed now too. I want you to start using voice to text. This will increase the speed of your workflows, and you will get so much more done within the day. I highly recommend Whisperflow. I don't have an affiliate link yet, but if I do, I will let you know. But you can go over there. It's a great tool. It captures exactly what you're saying. You can literally whisper to it. You don't have to talk loud, and it will capture everything you're saying. But you can also use the free voice to text that's inside Claude or inside ChatGPT. But I highly recommend you get used to using these tools now because you're going to increase your speed. And more important than that, it's going to start learning your voice. And this is where I feel like the real switch has come with how AI is really beginning to speak more like me. And my content is becoming more like myself because I'm actually using my own phrases. I talk to it like it's a friend and it's picking up on all my little nuances. So I want you to say, I want to build a master prompt document so you always know who I am. Let's start with my story. Ask me 3 questions, one at a time, about my personal testimony, the hardest season I've walked through, and the transformation I experienced on the other side. That's it. So Claude will ask you, or ChatGPT will ask you the first question. You answer it out loud. I highly recommend you doing that. Talk to it. You can even do it on your phone if you have the app downloaded on your phone using voice to text and let your words land on the screen naturally. I don't want you to overthink it or correct it, okay? That's really important. And then Claude asks the next question and you're going to answer. And by the end of that 190-minute session, you're going to have the beginning of your AI brain. It's a document that's going to capture your story, your voice, your transformation that you upload to every single AI conversation, or preferably, as I teach in my program, you're going to upload it to a project. And once you upload it to a project, then everything that you create underneath that project will automatically know your brand, your voice. It's going to know you so well that everything you ask it from there on out, you don't have to keep repeating yourself anymore. So instead of AI giving you some generic response every time, it starts responding like it has known you and your business for 5 years or more, right? So that is not what the use AI for your business crowd is really teaching beginners right now. They're just handing out more niche finder prompts or copy templates or use this. And those things have their place, but I teach something different. I teach you to put yourself into the AI before you ask it to do anything for you because you're not a template. You're called, you're equipped, you're the God given original, right? There's no photocopies of you. And your AI should know that from the very first conversation. And that's the differentiating factor between people who are using AI and people who are using AI correctly. So we're putting God first, right? Family second, and AI third. I know people talk about AI first. I'm all about using AI, but I still feel like AI's got to know who you are, who God created you to be, right? And we still want to have time for our family. And then we can put AI third to help us support our business. AI is the tool, but you are the coach. And ultimately, God is the architect, right? And when you're building it that way, it sounds like you every single time. All right, number 3, build your client pathway before you build anything else. I see so many women make this mistake. They spend weeks, they're designing their pretty logo, they're building a really pretty website, they're creating this course outline with, 57 modules in it, and then they have no clients. They have no email list grown and no idea how anyone is ever going to find them. But here's a pathway that actually works and in the simplest possible terms, okay? Basically, your funnel is going to look like somebody finds you. And in this trust recession that we're having right now, where nobody's trusting anyone out there in the online business world, it's so important that your audience begins to trust you. That's why I love podcasting, because I get to speak out into the abyss to you every single week. But yet, you probably feel like you know me now. Like I've been able to communicate with you and give you tips and tell you stories about myself. And it's a really intimate way to get to know somebody and also to attract your audience that understands or relates to what you're saying. So I'm a big proponent of podcasting. But anyway, they trust you. They opt into your list, your email list. They book a call. Maybe it's a discovery call to figure out if you're a good fit or not. And then they become a client. And that's it. That's the whole funnel. It doesn't have to be complicated. And none of this requires a tech degree, okay? A lot of midlife women are really scared about AI, thinking they have to know all these tech things. And the coolest part of AI right now in this era we're living in is you don't. You just have to know how to talk. And I don't know about you, but a lot of us midlife women are really good at talking. We could talk for hours, right? And all you need to do is talk to your AI. And you can build apps, you can build artifacts, you can build an online business that you're just thinking about in your head because you're talking to AI, and it's going to tell you, okay, these are the things you need to do, and this is how we're going to work it. And it's just amazing the creative world we're living in right now. And like I said, I'm a non-techie girl. I've learned how to use these AI tools, but it came from a place of communicating with it to figure it out, and being creative to think about what I think would be really valuable to you. Like for my program, like I have created it all in my head, and then I spoke it to the AI to create it for you. So the number one skill you really need in this new era to build whatever it is you want with AI is creativity. And I know a lot of you midlife women out there, you have creativity. You're not lacking that. And I think, I don't want to get on my soapbox about this, but I think for us, especially Gen X, we were brought up in this culture and schooling that was coming out of the Industrial Revolution. They were preparing people to go work in factories. And I think a lot of us are so creative, but we have been told to suppress our creativity for decades now. And a lot of us have had dreams and inspirations to do creative things. And we felt like we had to suppress that in order to go to work, to do the quote unquote real job. And I know all of you have creativity living inside of you. And now it's like time to let the genie out of the bottle and let your creativity shine. And you can work with AI as your partner to make it come to fruition and make it happen now. And it's so exciting. And I get so fired up about it because if you can start seeing AI through this lens, it's going to change everything. And when we're talking about financial freedom for midlife women, this is the ticket. This is how you get there, not by just utilizing AI like a robot or you becoming a robot. It's like you're able to pour in all of your imagination and creativity and your wisdom that you've experienced over the last several decades, and now use that to help other people. And it's totally possible now. You can change everything within a short amount of time over this next year and next couple years. You can find yourself in a completely different spot than you are right now. I know because I have too. And now I'm just so passionate about helping you find your way down this path as well. But what it requires is 90 minutes a day to build the foundation of your online coaching business. It requires, yes, a willing heart to do so and to do that work. And the decision that your calling is worth showing up for. That's the biggest thing. You need to switch your mindset. So you don't need a website on day one. You just need a reason for someone to give you their email address. One lead magnet. I promote using a quiz. I think they're great. And I have a special tool inside my program that helps you create that quiz, which is awesome. You need a welcome email for them to understand who you are, and one way to book a call. Okay. And that's your entire business in its simplest form. We get more into the weeds on it and the details inside the program. But once you have your AI brain set up and built from step 2, Claude can help you start writing all of it. Your lead magnet, your welcome email, your first social post in your voice with your story from day one, okay? And I hear this all the time. Lorianne, I don't know anything about AI. I feel like it's going to replace me. And let me tell you what AI actually is. AI is actually the great equalizer. For the first time in history, a single woman, a solopreneur with 90 minutes a day and a mustard seed of faith, like I like to say, can actually build a business infrastructure that used to require an entire team. You can compete with some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies out there now. AI is not going to replace you. It replaces the hours you were going to spend staring at a blank screen trying to figure out what to write. But you bring the story, you bring the wisdom, the lived experience, the faith, the calling, and AI just brings the speed. And that combination is faith-powered AI systems. And it's exactly what called and capable women like you have been waiting for. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. You don't have a time problem. You have a systems problem. And systems can be built in just 90 minutes with a clear intention, one AI tool, one lead magnet, one list. That's how a real online business begins, not in a great launch moment or not when your life finally calms down, right now, in the season that you're actually in, okay? Because here's what God keeps reminding me every time I think I need more time or more money or more clarity before I take the next step. He doesn't wait until the conditions are perfect to show up. And He didn't call you to a perfect moment. He just called you to this one. And your comeback is not behind you, it's in front of you. And the business you're meant to build is just waiting for you. So if this episode stirred something inside of you, and I really, really hope it did, I need to tell you what's coming, okay? Because here's what I know about you. You didn't stumble on this podcast by accident. God led you here. You've been thinking about this maybe for a while now, and something about today, the 90 minutes, whether it was the AI brain, or the idea that you could actually build something real without blowing up your whole life to do it, something landed differently for you, I bet. And I want you to pay attention to that because I'm about to open the doors to Called to Coach, Built to Break Free, which is my 6-phase AI-powered coaching business program built specifically for midlife Christian women who are done waiting and finally ready to rebuild their life and their online coaching business. This is where you take everything that we talked about today, that 90-minute CEO framework, your AI brain, your client pathway, and you start building the whole thing with me, step by step, module by module, faith first, the entire way through. Okay. We're talking find your niche inside your comeback story because you know your mess is really always your message. Building your complete AI brain in one session. So every output sounds like you from day one because it is you. You've talked to your AI, setting up your full client experience, your lead magnet, your email list, your booking system, all automated on the back end, and launching your first group coaching program inside a community of women who are doing the exact same brave, beautiful thing that you are, which is the most amazing part, getting to meet other women building alongside of you and in the same season as you are in midlife. And here's what I want you to know about this very first cohort. The women who get in now on the wait list are getting the VIP founding member rate. Okay. That means you are going to lock in the lowest price this program will ever be offered at before the doors open to the public the next round. And that is not a someday offer. That is a right now offer. So for the woman who has been saying soon long enough and is finally ready to say yes, here's what I want you to do. I want you to click that link in the show notes. Get on the wait list for Called to Coach, Built to Break Free. It's LoriannFeely.com/waitlist, LORIANN, F as in Frank, EELEY.com/waitlist. I want you to put your name on that list and let me know that you're ready, okay? Because I'm also going to be offering some really cool bonuses for the first group of women who join this first cohort. You will have special access to me and it's going to be amazing. And I'm just super excited about how it's going to change your life. Because God has been preparing you for this season a whole lot longer than you realize. And the doors are about to be open, so I don't want you to miss it, okay? So thank you so much for being with me here today. And truly, if this episode helped you see that building a real online coaching business in the margins of your real life is actually possible, will you share it with another girlfriend who needs to hear it? Forward it to someone who's been sitting on the sidelines and their idea for way too long. She just needs some permission to start too. And this might be exactly the nudge that she needs. And girl, let me leave you with this. You were not called to a life of someday. You were actually called to a life of today in 90 minutes with what you already have. The tools are here now. We have the AI tools. The time is yours. So until next time, I want you to keep putting God first, your family second, and AI third. And trust that the systems are coming sooner than you think. So I will catch you back here for the next episode. Thanks so much for listening. Hey girl, I hope today's episode gave you a little faith, a little fire, and maybe even a next step you didn't have when you pressed play. So if it did, would you take 30 seconds and share it with one woman in your life who needs to hear this right now? And if this podcast has been speaking to your heart, I would absolutely love it if you leave me a quick review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps this show reach more midlife women just like you who are ready to start building the life God actually designed them for. So until next time, keep choosing faith over fear, and don't you dare give up on your next chapter. I'll see you back here really soon.